Okay, so this is going to be a tutorial line for Gmod, basic server development, and other shenaniganeries. This little video will have to do with how to create a job, edit it, and basically give you the terminology that you need to ask questions in the future. So something that I'm going to use that is good and friendly for others, especially if you want to show someone else your code. Um, all you do, go create Codeshare.io, hit share code share code now, and then there you've got this. Edit settings and then set it to Lua, so that way it picks up on those syntax. You can alternatively use Notepad++. You can install that by just Googling Notepad++. And you can download it right here. So, Codeshare is what I'm going to use right now, but there is Notepad++. Choose what you want to do. I use Notepad++ when I'm just doing stuff for myself, and FileZilla will not use Codeshare. So generally you should be using Notepad++. So this is just for the video. So if you are doing a server, you're most likely using a game server because dedicated servers are expensive. You're most likely doing some kind of FTP access. I'll log in through here. Logging us in. Okay, there we go. We're now logged in. So you'd run through. You'd pick up. Go to Dark RP modification master or Dark RP modification. Go into Lua, Dark RP custom things. You'd view or edit, and then shabam, it'll open up in Notepad++ because that's what I've set it as in my as a default program. Let me just copy this guy. This is a Jedi on our server. Oop, Jedi Knight Anakin. The reason I'm choosing this one because it shows off a bunch of custom stuff. Let me grab another one that's a little bit more normal. We can do. We'll do both of these guys. This is from our horn company on the server. Okay. Let me max this out. Alright, so to create a job, you can use a pretty simple template. I'm going to post this. I'm going to post all three of these in a little .text document that you can download from the description. So look there if you want to download this and edit it. Another good resource is the Coding Beast. That guy has a really great resource out there. The Coding Beast. I don't use it anymore, but if you're a up-and-coming server or you just really want to be lazy, you can go through here and it'll give you some of the default stuff. It's only set for 2.5, however, so most servers are moving up to 2.6 because of several, improvements on the old one. So let's go over a couple important things. This is the team right here, as highlighted. You cannot do spaces, so if I were to do it like this, Gmod would be like, what are you doing? You gotta do underscores to space it out. This is obviously interchangeable. I do it like this to symbolize, hey, this is a Jedi Knight, this is Anakin. You need to have a special team, and if you want them to be able to talk to each other, you would go off and set up a group chat group via. Let me move this down here. You would go in and you would set it up in group chats right there. So, yeah, so that's the team. This is the character name. So if you wanted to set him up as, let's say, Hobson, and he would be a bunny. It must be all caps right here. And he would be Rabbit, Hobson the bunny rabbit. You would also set up his model right here. You can see that each model is surrounded by quotation marks and followed with a comma. Quotation marks, comma, quotation marks. This guy currently has 3 separate models. For the description, you type it out, make sure there's the double bracket. Don't want to accidentally delete that. It'll then display this in the F4 menu if your F4 menu supports descriptions. Not every F4 menu does. I write them in because sometimes servers like to switch around, and you know, you never know when you're going to switch, and then you might end up with this big block of emptiness because you didn't write out a description for your jobs. Just like models for each weapon, you're going to literally grab it from your Q menu. You go to the weapons tab, find the weapon that you want to do, right click it, copy to clipboard, and you'd paste it right here in between quotation marks, followed by a comma, and the next weapon, and so on. For the command, this must be unique, just like your team and your name. The command must also be unique. So what does that mean? Command Annie, if they were to do /Annie in game and they had the right Steam ID, they would switch into Hobson. So yeah, so for this one, I'm going to switch it to Hobson, and there's going to be, that's his command. This decides the max amount of people that can play on your job, so I'm going to set it to 100 people can be Hobson, or if you want infinite people, you set it to 0. For salary, this decides how much money they get. You don't want to put it too high because you do get money at really quick intervals in accordance to a salary. I would honestly say 500 is really just a max. It's safe. It's not over the top, and you won't have your players becoming millionaires in one day. And really 500's the max. I would say on average you should really cap them at 250. If for a civilian job or an infinite job with no discrimination, I would set it down to maybe 75. So this is a custom, I didn't go for the rest of these. This is admin, admin equals 0. This means if you're an admin, does it require you to be a admin? No, you do not have to be because it is set to 0. Vote, do I have to vote to become Hobson the Bunny Rabbit? Set to false, so there will not be a vote that shows up. Has license. You really only give this to cops or gun dealers if you have those on your server. This is a Star Wars server, so we don't have it. So for the most part, it'll always be false. Has radio. That's a special function. Can talk to global. That's also a special function from other add-ons. I kept these in. Our server doesn't even use them anymore, but it's to give you guys an idea of what it takes to add a custom function. So yeah, those just stay there. Even though they do absolutely nothing on our server, they're just there, and that's completely okay. They don't come back with an error. The server doesn't get mad. It just ignores it. Can demote. Can someone do /demote blank person's name, reason, and then does it get put to a vote? I usually leave this as true, so players can handle themselves when staff aren't online. But of course, you don't really want staff on duty to get demoted, or people to get demoted from Hobson. So we would set that to false. That way they can't get voted out of the job. This is when we start getting the custom checks. I'm going to start referencing the other ones from the other groups, and it'll give you a pretty solid idea of what's going on there. A custom check is basically saying, hey, I got something custom going on here. We got to do this. It's going to apply the function onto the player, return client, or player Steam ID. So this is the Steam ID of the player. It follows the quotation marks. This is just to make it so it's more clear for you as the developer that this is the guy's Steam ID. You could also alternatively just search the Steam ID, but not everybody's in-game name matches their Steam name, so you might not actually know who they are. Or they could have left your community and you want to resell it, but you wanted to double check with the guy that owns it, and whatever. Next thing to do, this is a player spawn function. Basically, it's going to do function apply to player. So this is the function, and it's going to be applied to a player. It's a player function, and it's going to set health to 1000. Why do I have set max health? Because setting the health to 1000 is like doing HP 1000 in game with ULX. If you set someone's HP to 1000, it doesn't mean that they can be healed back up to 1000. It just means their health is overall at 1000. setting the max health makes it so they can be healed to 1000, which is very, very important that you keep both. Set walk speed increases their base speed because Hobson used to be Anakin. Um, he can walk a bit faster, but because he's a bunny rabbit, he can now walk, I don't know, like 800 times faster. And he can run like in Hussein Bolt right here. Look at that, super fast. But generally, if you're trying to make a class, leave it at 275 and 400. For the custom chuck fail message, this has to be there. You can customize it to basically say, this job is for donation members only, or Hobson only. And then you can mess with the category. The category is dependent on your Categories.lua, making sure that it's there. What it'll do in the F4 menu is display every single job that's in the same category in the category seen here. So let me pull up the Categories.lua, that way you can get a look at what it looks there. We're a Star Wars server, so we have a ton of categories for each group, lots of battalions and whatnot. So I'll just grab a random one, and shablam! All you have to do to create a new category is whoop, done. So now that it matches any job, if we had another Hobson job with unique commands, both would show up. So Hobson, nope, nope, whoop, Hobson 2, Hobson 2, Bunny Rabbit 2. There we go. So now there would be Hobson and Hobson 2, all in the Jedi Generals category. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. So that's a category. For this one, we're going to switch this to Bunny Lord. You do not have to worry about the spaces like here, and you don't have to worry about that anywhere else. It's only present up here. Some other add-ons might have something like that. That's a very specific thing, and you can feel free to ask a question, but you should be able to do it on your own. For creating the category, we can go into that now. There's several different places it can be put into, ammo, weapons, etc. For this one, it's set into jobs because, hey, we're trying to set a job into that category. This is the color. This is where I recommend going to the Coding Beast site. Coding Beast, reason being, is he has a pretty solid thing. When you do the jobs, just go to his job thing, go to color, and you can go whoop, whoop, paste, and you can go ahead and modify. This record thing's in the way. There we go. You can go ahead and modify the color just by copy pasting it over to replace what was there. Bam. Now his color would be, I don't remember. It'll be a color. Huzzah. Yeah, it's not even letting me paste it over in this thing. Alright, so that's how you get a new color. You can apply it over here as well. It's interchangeable between the job. It's the same exact system for every single thing in the game. For Garry's mod at least. It's not just RGB. I don't even know what the fourth one is, but that's how it works. KNC, right now it's set up for a special function, like if we wanted to make it so battalion members or a certain Steam ID could see something, you would set up a table for this below, just like how it's set up kind of right here. But I didn't set it up for that, and it ignores it because it's not in use. The next and final thing for categories is sort order. Right now it says sort order equals 25. I believe the lower the number, as in like 0 through 50, the higher it is to the top, and 51 to 100 is closer to the bottom. So 100 being the lowest point and 1 being the highest. So hopefully that gives you an idea. Of course, I could be wrong in terms of which one's the highest, which one's the lowest. Mess around with it, find out what is right. Okay, so the next thing to do, because if you remember from back here, we had a custom check for Steam ID. Well, for battalions, other than named characters, you don't really have to worry about that. What you do want to worry about is groups. So this is when we start getting into tables. So this is the custom check. You don't see a Steam ID here. It's a replacement. So for this one, there's Horn Company. Hold on one sec. Night Shadow's being a dummy. Friends. Offline. Should have done that earlier. I'll cut this little part out. Probably not. Alright. Custom check. Right now it's set to Horn Company. This is integrated into the ULX group system. So if the player is ULX add user to Horn Company, it will then run off and say, yes, he is a part of Horn Company, and it allows him to switch to the job. You'll notice that he has a special command, special team, and name. It even has a custom check fail message. So these two guys are both in Horn Company, right here. So if someone was added to Horn Company, they could both switch to this. So feel free to mess with that. I left Super Admin. Game Maker is just the custom rank we have on our server, but Super Admin, Admin, and Operator are something that most servers have. And basically, these guys would be able to play as them. The reason they are there is because not all staff are useless in terms of not all staff. So staff still play the game, so you need to be able to have them, join groups. That's why you would add these guys to it. You could probably set up a local table at the top that essentially, you have all these guys in, and then you would just write out, instead of having quotation marks, you'd be like staff ranks, and then you would set up a local table. It'd be like local staff ranks. I can't remember how to write a table. Equals, and then I think it's, and then you write out the things. Super admin. I can't remember if I did have to. Whatever, you get the idea. That's a little bit farther than what you need to do. But I'll put an example of it once I've, of course, figured it out. Or you can Google it off the Gmod wiki page, which is a very good resource. Okay, cool. So that's how you create a job. Once you're done, all you have to do is copy your Hobson job into your Jobs.lua. And then you would scroll all the way down. You'd find the bottom, because the darker piece set spawn system is a hoe and a half. I'd recommend getting a replacement. A current good one is Nordal Spawn Creator. Go ahead and check them out on Script Fodder. Of course, if you're watching this a year from now, Nordal might not exist and Script Fodder might be gone. So, whatever. So you'd add it to there. If you're using an FTP system, you'd hit save. You'd run over here, and you'd hit, do I want to upload this? Well, I don't actually want to upload it, so I hit no. If I really wanted it uploaded, I would have said yes. It would have queued it, and it would have successfully transferred, and you would have heard a ding, but I don't have that. So that's the jobs, and then you take your new category, and you do the exact same for your Catergories.lua. For this one, it doesn't matter where you place it, so boop, boop, whoop, and then you'd save, and it would give you the response over there. File has changed. Do you want to upload? Yes or no? Hit no. Well, I hit no. You can hit yes, because you're trying to update your server. So there you go. That's how you set up a new job. That was 20 minutes for a topic that should have only really taken 5 minutes. I rambled. Cool. There we go.